Everybody, today we're going to compare SEO tool space, Ahrefs versus SEMrush. Like, I've got this question a lot. Should I go for Ahrefs? Should I go for SEMrush, right? And honestly, the answer is just it depends on what you're looking for, right? And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a full comparison between Ahrefs and SEMrush on a high level so you can decide which one is better for your needs, right? For reference, I'm going to be comparing SEMrush's Guru plan, which costs like $249 a month, versus Ahrefs standard plan, which costs like $200 per month without the usage limits. And my goal today is to give you an overview in terms of ease of use of both SEMrush and Ahrefs, which is easier UI. We go into the features, keyword research, competitive analysis, rank tracking, backlink data, filtering, website audits, everything around that. I'll just give you the differences. And lastly, we're going to look at the pricing of the two tools. Okay. And ultimately, I'll just help you take a call that should you go with SEMrush or should you go with Ahrefs? And depending on whatever your situation is, you can choose either. So this is what SEMrush's user interface looks like. Okay, like once you go in, this is what they've got. All of the tools in here on the left, right, and then like a dashboard in here. And Ahrefs is again slightly cleaner as such. Like they've got all the tools above, right, and then you can go in and start searching all of that, right? So let's start with keyword research because that's probably my favorite aspect, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some research around content briefs. Okay, so now we're in SEMrush's keyword overview tool. So I'm going to look at content briefs. Now, one interesting aspect of SEMrush's keyword research is you can actually research multiple keywords in one go, right? So I'll just show you first how I search for one keyword, and then I'm going to show you how it works with multiple keywords, right? Which can be a little time saving. So when you research, you get the data that you would expect in a keyword research, right? Volume, difficulty, global volume. But what I like about SEMrush, the unique thing is they also give you intent. So if it's a commercial keyword like a versus or a comparison or an alternatives post, then they would have something like commercial. When it's something like what is, they'll have informational. So they basically cover all those bits, and that makes it easy. Once you kind of export out the data, you can filter out what part of the marketing funnel keywords you want to target to, right? Which I really like. And in general, from what I've heard from my peers, is that the keyword volume data they actually get from Google database, ads database, something like. But my point is, what I've heard is that this is actually pretty accurate versus all of the other tools. So just worth noting, right? They also give you a trend. They give you the ideas, questions, and you can also kind of create certain clusters. Okay. If I were to do, let's say, a bulk analysis, here's what it would look like. So this is the bulk analysis, what we initially saw, right? And I'm going to just I put an SEO audit template, right? Now it's going to analyze both the keywords, right? And give you an analysis, right? So within SEO audit template, now I can look at it. I can go back to backlink, bulk analysis, and keep switching between keywords. But this is how the keyword overview works, right? Now here's where things get more interesting. So they've got a tool called Keyword Magic Tool, which kind of is like their more detailed keyword research tool. It allows you to really explore the full cluster. All right, so now we're in the Keyword Magic tool, and you can see that there's a couple of interesting things. First is they have all of the keywords, like buckets of that particular topic, right? So within SEO audit, there's an SEO audit report, as free SEO audit, SEO audit checklist, keywords, right? So this allows you to break things down and also see like how big of a cluster this is, right? Now, this is by the number of keywords. I can also filter by volume, right? Here are all of the total keywords for report and what is the total volume for site this. So it gives you that idea. Another thing is that You can obviously filter, they give you a lot of interesting filters. Obviously, you can filter by volume and keyword difficulty, very hard difficulty, right? They've already got these set of keywords. But what I like the most is filtering by intent, right? So if I want to just find commercial keywords, I just click in here and then it basically just shows me the commercial keywords if there are any. I'm not sure if this one has commercial keywords because this is that kind of topic. But if I, let's say, just stick with informational, it'll just show me the informational ones. And I think this is a pretty helpful feature, and I use it quite a lot, especially when I export out this data and I'm just filtering through keyword research, right? It already did all of that. You can obviously filter by any keywords included, excluded, if you want to filter by word count or competitive density, all sorts. There's a lot that you can do here. But I think more importantly, it's great if you want to do kind of cluster. Now, this is, I'd say, like 80% of the keyword research. Of course, they've got a lot of other tools as well, like the keyword manager, which basically allows you to gather keyword clusters and just make like a good keyword research document. It just helps you in that, right? But this is how keyword research works in SEMrush. Now let's get to Ahrefs. Now, Ahrefs keyword research, you just click here and they take you to an interface. They have a slightly cleaner interface, and I'll show you the interesting bits of the way they do it, right? So I'm going to take content briefs, for example. So in first view, you see the difficulty, the volume, potential traffic, the top ranking result, global volume, keyword ideas, questions, all of that, right? And then you can also see the traffic share based on the top ranking SERPs. You can see a quick SERP overview in here. I found the keyword research interface probably a little bit more cleaner than SEMrush's. It's minimalistic, if I may say that, but also it lacks features. But I'll tell you my favorite bit with Ahrefs keyword research tool. So I just go in here, which is all of the keyword ideas related to the term content briefs, right? And this is where I feel the magic is. All right. So you now have a place where you can basically just see a full breakdown of all of the keywords. This isn't a good example. So let me just take something a little bit more popular, right? So let me just take Zendesk. All right. So within Zendesk, I can see this grouping of terms, ticket, API, sales, Salesforce, all of that, right? And now you have this beautiful list of keywords in almost like a spreadsheet style interface, right? Where there's like a parent topic, volume, keyword, all of that. So you can do a lot of research in here, right? And Ahrefs allows you with, I guess, a lot of interesting filters, right? So the standard ones: keyword difficulty from to, volume, global volume, domain rating, traffic potential. I don't know what this is. I guess something new. Word count, sub features, right? Does it have featured snippet or a image bag? If it includes a certain keyword, and then clicks per search and everything, right? So I think it's pretty good. In terms of features, I don't think it's as good as SEMrush, because SEMrush gives you informational intent. It gives, a lot of like keyword clustering in a nice way. It gives you the volume in a good way, right? So I think from that standpoint, I think SEMrush is a little ahead versus Ahrefs in terms of keyword research, even though I prefer Ahrefs' user interface more than SEMrush. It's a close contest, but I think SEMrush wins over Ahrefs on this one. The next thing we're going to look at is competitive analysis. How good are SEMrush and Ahrefs on that? So let's look at SEMrush first. I'm going to put my own blog, right? Doesn't get a lot of search traffic, but let's see how these work out. So you can go into competitive research, click on domain overview. And once you search for a site, this is what it shows for the site, right? So it has an authority score, it has traffic, it has backlinks, right? And it's also divided. And this is the bit that I love the most, right? It gives you an instant overview that for this domain, what part of the funnel do they have probably the most breakup in traffic in, right? It seems this site, according to SEMrush, has a lot of navigational content, right? 29%. Or they get a lot of traffic for informational content, right? So I think it's pretty good. It gives you the organic traffic growth over time, which is helpful. It gives you a breakdown of like how the organic keywords have grown in top 3, 4 to 10, 11 to 20, which is nice in terms of breakdown, in terms of country, traffic. It gives you like a good list of organic keywords that the site ranks for. It tells you if there's branded or non-branded traffic. Like I said, it breaks down the keywords by different marketing funnel stages. It gives competitors, who am I competing with? Where do I stand in this landscape? I'm a very tiny, small person in this entire space. As you can see, of course, this site is small. It can also give you top keywords, paid position distribution. It gives you backlinks. What am I ranking for? Breakdown in terms of follow, no follow backlinks, top anchors, referring domains, all of that, right? And we can take a more in-depth example, right? Let me take Zendesk.com as an example. All right. So this is Zendesk.com, and here's what we see, right? The authority score, the search traffic, the breakdown of the search traffic. As you can see, 56% of the keywords are informational, which is very helpful. Overall traffic, backs, average visit duration. I don't know how they get this data, but it's pretty interesting. Bounce rate, how the overall traffic is going. Seems like it's going down a little bit. Organic keywords, what top keywords they rank for, position distribution, how many keywords. 50% of their keywords are actually in the top 1 to 3, which is awesome. Branded traffic trend, how Zendesk branded. I don't know why. February could have been some product related thing. I don't know. It's helpful. Main competitors, the positioning map. You can see their paid keywords, what they're bidding for. AI chatbot, SaaS, interesting. Main paid competitors, what their ads are, follow, top anchors, referring domains, index pages. Right? So it gives you a very in-depth, amazing report, right? Now you can also compare domains, right? If you want to compare Zendesk versus Help Scout, two popular customer support tools, you can do that in here, right? You can also compare by countries. And within this, you can go one by one. Let's say, for example, I want to see all the keywords that they rank. I can just go in to their organic research. All right. Apart from the keywords, you can also see traffic, right? So you can see the number of visits, unique visitors, bounce rate. You can see their top pages for Zendesk. You can create comparisons, right? Zendesk versus Help Scout versus Freshdesk, all of that, right? Like you can do a full comparison, right? And then gives you geo distribution, subdomains, traffic journey. It's just super comprehensive traffic analytics. There's literally nothing better out there. You can also see the industry. You can see like an audience overview. You can see your top pages. You can some benchmarks. I'll show you that. My point being that the competitive analysis in SEMrush is just way advanced. Like you can literally get any data you need in terms of like online marketing for literally any site. Like it's really good. So now this one is more of a market explorer summary, right? You can see that this is the total traffic, 1.1 billion. Market traffic cost, this is 105 million. You can see the quadrant in terms of the top tools and everything. So I wouldn't say it's like accurate, right? Like it says total addressable market 7 billion, right? Of course, there are things, but it gives you an idea of like how big they can do research, right? So what I like about SEMrush is it just goes beyond SEO. It gives you more of market insights, right? Which is pretty awesome. Now let's get into the competitive analysis. Now let's get into the competitive analysis in Ahrefs, right? So you go to Site Explorer here and you just search here. So I'm going to start with my own blog. So I'm going to first show you a small site, then I'm going to show you a large site, and then show you the difference in how the data looks. All right. So once you go in here, it gives you, first of all, on a high level, here's the domain rating, here's the backlinks, here's the referring domains, traffic, value of the traffic, right? And this I like quite a bit, right? It gives you traffic by location, competitors, organic keywords, organic pages, all of that, right? Then you can start going a little deeper, right? So you can look at the backlink profile, right? It gives you, first of all, let's take the backlink data for all time. Okay. Now you can see it gave you an idea. It showed where there were Google updates. It shows you how the rating went. And then you can go one by one. You can also look at, first of all, how the organic traffic has grown. It, of course, shows organic traffic. You can also see in terms of value, right? It shows you the value. It shows you all of the Google updates, all of that, right? It gives you the top pages, the top organic keywords, all of that, right? So I think this is pretty good. You can look at the site structure, and again, I guess it's locked onto a higher plan. But I think the biggest difference that I see in Ahrefs competitive research versus SEMrush is I think SEMrush is not just for SEO competitive research, it's for overall market research. While Ahrefs is very heavily focused on SEO, when Google updates went out, backlink data, site structure, all of that, right? Which I don't know if it's a pro and con. I think the pro is that it just makes the interface very easy to use, right? Easy to get the data, quickly go through it. But the con is that you can't really go in deeper and see. Of course, you can go in, you can look at the backlinks and the exact keywords and traffic and all of that. Like that would be easy to get. And the data is pretty accurate. Okay. But I think if you want to see the market size, if you want to see branded versus unbranded traffic, or if you want to see like what marketing, what keywords are in which marketing funnel, like all of that data is in here, right? So it's a fairly straightforward spreadsheet style of interface. You can see all of the keywords and it gives you a lot of good filtering options. And then of course you can filter by top pages. Like you can see these top pages in terms of value. I actually really like this, that hey, these are the highest value pages. So perhaps worth targeting, right? A lot of interesting data in there. You can see organic competitors and you can actually see content gap, right? Like, again, like I said, Ahrefs is more focused towards the requirements of SEOs. And you can basically just put in your competitors. You can be like, put your own domain and see where do your competitors rank and where you don't rank. So it helps you with your overall SEO strategy. You can also see your competitors in organic search. So you can see that these are my competitors, top competing domains. This is more of a site explorer. I'll also show you the competitive analysis. Okay, so I just put in one site versus a competitor, right? And now it can show me the gaps in the content, right? Now this is very valuable data, right? Like you can know that these are the keywords that I don't rank for, like my competitor does, right? So I can start including them in research. I can export this data. I can do whatever I want, right? Which I think makes this a very interesting tool, right? So in terms of competitive analysis, I would say both are equal because I think both have their strengths, right? I think SEMrush is really good at getting a full competitive analysis on a very high level, right? Gives you the keywords, gives you the overall market value, gives like everything that you need in terms of what they're targeting, all of that, right? But you're left to figure out, well, they've created this keywords. How many keywords have I created? How many keywords have not created, right? While Ahrefs goes a step further, right? So I think Ahrefs, while it doesn't give the high level overview, it gives you a more in-depth overview on really what keywords you're not ranking for while your competitor is, or they've created content, right? So you can take more actionable steps, right? So I think in this case, the difference is really that SEMrush comparative research is a little bit more strategic, while Ahrefs' comparative research is more execution focused for SEOs and content. So I think it's a tie. All right, the next thing we're going to look at are backlinks. How does the backlink analysis look like in SEMrush? For Zendesk, you can see that it gives you a very good overview in terms of like referring domains, backlinks. It gives you an overall authority score, which is broken down into link power, organic traffic, natural profile. It gives you a history of new and lost referring domains, top anchors, link distribution, all of that, right? And then you can actually obviously go in and really just look at the actual links, right? Okay. So as you can see, the backlinks data, they give you a breakup of text, image, form, frame. They give you a breakup of follow, unfollow, and then you can see exactly what backlinks, right? And then you can filter them by, links per referring domain, right? So if you want to just keep it one so that the same referring domain doesn't get repeated again, you can do that. You can also filter by specific referring page. You can filter by title or URL. You can filter by no follow. You can filter by new backlinks, old backlinks. Oops. All right. So yeah, you can basically filter by a lot of different things. You can also filter by where it's been placed on the footer, site-wide, header, content. A lot of cool features. And again, there's a lot you can do. I think it's pretty good in terms of backlink research. Now let's look at how backlink research looks like in SEMrush, right? So how does backlink research look like in it? So when I go in here, first of all, this is like the backlinks dashboard. It doesn't have the same view like I guess like a summary in here that's in the overview of the site. But this is actually pretty useful because, for example, first is you can group similar backlinks. You can group it by one link per domain. You can see backlinks by new lost, pretty similar to what SEMrush had. You can filter by do follow, no follow, backlink type, you know, in content, image, regular links. You can filter by domain rating, which is actually pretty helpful. You can filter by traffic. You can filter by a lot of different filters: title, URL, platform, author, number of redirects, right? And one thing that I got to say in terms of the quality of backlinks, Ahrefs backlink data is the best. There is no comparison. Like their backlink data is probably the most accurate one. I think SEMrush's backlink data is good, but I don't think it's fully accurate. Like one of the simple things that I've noticed is that, let's say I did some backlink outreach and I got notified like earlier in the morning today that I got a backlink, right? When I go into Ahrefs and I look into my new domains, that backlink will be there, right? While if I go into SEMrush, it might show up a month later, it might never show up, right? And I think in here, even the entire SEO community knows because of Ahrefs' own database, I think the backlink is their superpower. So if you're somebody who's really looking for like high quality backlink data that's super accurate, I would recommend Ahrefs over SEMrush on this one, right? While SEMrush gives you a lot of data in terms of all of this, right? The accuracy of this is it's okay. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's like really amazing. But Ahrefs I can like back at 100%. I think that data is good. So I think this round for sure Ahrefs wins. And I can also tell you that Ahrefs has a lot of awesome backlink features, right? So for example, if you want to see broken backlinks for a domain, right? And you want to do broken backlink outreach, right? It gives you that data. As you can see, a lot of these backlinks are broken. For example, I can see this lucid charts thing is broken or the splash learn backlink is broken, so I can just reach out and fix those backlinks. Right? And I think this is very useful. Again, I think Ahrefs is more focused on execution, right? And I think this is a fantastic feature in here. You can also see your internal backlinks. You can also see link intersect, which is another interesting one that I'll just show you. The link intersect is actually, it gives you the data on if somebody is linking to your competitor but not linking to you, you can know those sites, right? So I'm just going to compare HelpScout versus Zendesk. And there you have it. 17,000 domains not linking to Zendesk, but linking to HelpScout. And this is awesome data, especially if you're competing with a competitor, right? Like you can reach out to these people and start getting those backlinks, right? So again, what I'd like to emphasize is that Ahrefs is again very execution focused. SEMrush is very strategic. It also helps with execution, and they do have a lot of these features. Ahrefs just has made it easier in here, right? So I think in this round, like for sure, Ahrefs wins over SEMrush. All right, another aspect that we're going to look at are site audits. So both SEMrush and Ahrefs provide site audits. So within SEMrush, a site audit looks like this. So for a site, you can see the site health, errors, warnings, notices, reports, crawled pages, top issues, all of that. Within Ahrefs, it looks like this, right? So a health score, issues, distribution, crawled URL distribution, top issues, yeah, all of that. And the interesting thing is, of course, you can go in, you can look at internal link opportunities within here, right? This is pretty helpful with an Ahrefs, right? You can see that, oh, you can link here, 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 right? Actually, aspects of this, right? While SEMrush's audit is great, it doesn't give you those kind of suggestions, right? I think I'd say that the site audit is better in Ahrefs versus SEMrush. It's just more, I guess, actionable, right? This is more to get an idea, right? So if I go in and like look at the issues, right? It's like broken internal links, it'll tell me what are these broken links, right? But if I want to kind of make other aspects, I'm not sure if that's possible in SEMrush. All right. So that was the site audit. I think the other thing is that both SEMrush and Ahrefs have position tracking available, right? I don't use that quite a bit. Like I've used both in the past, right? Rank tracking within SEMrush and Ahrefs, and like my analysis was just that I think Ahrefs site rank tracking is simpler. Like it's more like a spreadsheet style interface, while Ahrefs position tracking is more comprehensive. But it's almost like a dashboard. I don't think one is better than the other. It's more of a preference. I think I like Ahrefs' position tracking slightly better. Like I haven't actively used SEMrush's rank tracking. I think there's not much of a difference. I would just say just choose either one, whatever kind of works for you. I've given you the differences. Right. The last thing we're going to look at is the pricing of the two tools, Rush versus Ahrefs and pricing. So SEMrush has three plans: Pro, Guru, Business. Pro is 100. I think it starts at $130 per month. I use the Guru plan, which is $250 per month, and they've got the business plan. Just the limits increase, you get more keywords to track, all of that. Ahrefs, on the other hand, starts at slightly lower, $99 per month. And then I use the standard plan because it has SERP updates and all of the features that I showed, content gap analysis, broken backlinks. This has more execution related features. That's why I prefer 199, the standard plan. So it's neck to neck. Ahrefs is slightly cheaper, but there's a big difference that you should know about. Okay. SEMrush is unlimited. You can do unlimited keyword research, unlimited analysis, right? While Ahrefs is actually credit based. So the more you use, the more expensive it becomes. And that's why they've made this small gray disclaimer that it starts at this pricing, right? Which is a huge bummer because I think they changed this pricing sometime back. And this makes Ahrefs actually much more expensive than SEMrush. So just for reference, for the standard plan, for $199 per month, you get like 500 credits. Now, one credit in Ahrefs is basically any search, be it when you search for a keyword, when you do a bulk analysis, when you do a domain analysis, whenever you like any action, any click of a button, I think is one credit. So you can get done with your 500 credits super quickly, right? And once you go beyond that, then their pricing becomes usage based, and like I said, it can become really expensive. SEMrush, on the other hand, is $250 per month flat. Okay, like you cannot go beyond this because you can do unlimited analysis. You can keep searching here and there, right? So my analysis on the pricing is really just that while on the surface they have the same pricing, right? Ahrefs is actually is cheaper than Ahrefs because they have a flat subscription fee. There's no chance of it going overboard. While Ahrefs is usage based, so it will go overboard, right? What I'd say is that if you're somebody who's looking for unlimited searches for a flat monthly fee, or let's say if you're a team that does a lot more keyword research and competitive research greater than 500 times in a month, right? Then I would definitely urge you to consider SEMrush because Ahrefs is going to become really expensive. Ahrefs is probably for people who are, let's say, doing a little bit of keyword research or a little bit of comparative analysis every month. In that case, if it's less than 500, you'd be able to stick to 199. So that's my analysis, right? And that's one of the reasons why I actually prefer SEMrush, right? Because yeah, you get more bang for the buck, yeah, in my opinion. So just to summarize this, right? Which is better for whom, right? So if you're somebody who's looking for, if you're a data nerd and if you need a lot of data, right? And if you don't want more detailed reporting, if you want more strategic insights, beyond SEO as well as SEO, right? I think SEMrush is a great option over Ahrefs, right? If you're somebody who does a lot of keyword research, right? SEMrush is a great choice over Ahrefs. If you're somebody, who's a little budget conscious, SEMrush is a great choice over Ahrefs. Now, if you're somebody who prefers a simpler user interface, I would recommend Ahrefs over SEMrush. If you're somebody who is okay with limited data but prefers simplicity, Ahrefs is better than SEMrush in that. If you're somebody who's looking for awesome backlink data, Ahrefs is better than SEMrush in my case. And yeah, and I think if you're somebody who's doing less keyword research, right, and you don't have a high volume, Ahrefs is better than SEMrush. Right. So there you have it. And I think the last thing is that if you're somebody who's very focused towards SEO and that's 100% your focus and you just want to, get a lot of head start on the SEO side, I think Ahrefs has more features than SEMrush or more focused features for execution purposes. So in that case, I would recommend Ahrefs over SEMrush. So that's my analysis between Ahrefs and SEMrush, right? Now, if you're considering buying either of the tools, I would urge you to consider buying through my affiliate links in the description below. It won't cost you anything extra, but it will help support my video efforts in creating more of this content, like helping you take these decisions. And yeah, and if you like this video, obviously, please share, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, there's something that I haven't covered in this video, just drop them in the comments and I will answer them for you. I've worked with both these tools for 5-6 years. I've seen the evolution of SEMrush and Ahrefs, and I have a lot of history and information behind the pros and cons of both these tools. So again, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video and I wish you a great day ahead.